I don't know how to do
it. Here we mew.
That's a mewing joke to the audience here.
What's happening?
We're actually on auto by accident.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we just saw Rena and Mion. We're probably KGPOV, yeah?
Yeah. I think
This
Mion.
Chie.
I think Mion can mew Max. I can see Mion doing that shit. Walking into class and just hitting Keiichi with that.
You seen that lady with the that just like locks it in, and then like for a split second, the post is like, "Why do you keep doing?" Right. That's Mion.
Oh, on God, dude, I love Mion. Furude-san and Hojo-san are absent today because they both have colds. I'm not tapped into the game, Tyler.
How's that my fault?
You hit the start button. You hit start record. So you got to click the you back in the game.
This is a stupid joke. I'm cutting it.
Why are you so mean to me, man? The weather is changing, so it's easy to get sick. Make sure you cover yourself when you go to sleep, okay?
Okay.
Oh. They live together, so I guess they caught it together. Rika-chan is supposed to perform as a shrine maiden on the day of Tanagashi. I hope she'll be okay. I hope.
Okay, whose POV is this? We're planning to have lots of fun at the festival. I hope they recovered by tomorrow somehow. Hey, do you want to go see them on our way home? Maybe we can bring something healthy for them to eat, too. We don't need to. By the way, can you two stop by this old man's house today?
Mion usually enjoys ideas like bringing people food when they're sick. For whatever reason, she was a little curt today. Actually, she's been acting a little different since this morning.
Whose POV are we?
I don't know.
Shion?
Even when I talk to her, it must be Keiichi, yeah?
But we're looking at Keiichi.
Somewhere else. Now she's asking Rena and me. Yeah, it's Keiichi.
Then why are we looking at him?
We can see Keiichi from Keiichi POV.
Dude, Keiichi's fucking third person schizomaxing right now. I don't know why the fuck I can see myself while talking. He's got the fucking VR chat mirror up, dude.
he's got the expression mirror on.
Now she's asking Rena and me to stop. What? Now she's asking Rena and me to stop by at her house.
Your house, Mi-chan? What for?
Well, I need to talk to you about something important. I can't tell you right now, though. Mion seemed calmer than usual, which told me that it was about something very serious.
There are always lots of patients running into the clinic just before lunchtime. Because of that, lunchtime at the clinic is always later than normal people's. It's just a short break, though. Our afternoon shift begins right away. The staff are enjoying the break, eating the delivery lunches. They can eat basically anywhere they want, as long as the patients can't see them, and it's not a place we need to keep sterile. Because it's hot and humid, the meeting room with its air conditioner ends up being a popular place. The staff can all eat their takeout lunches there. As I am the director of this clinic, they might feel uncomfortable eating with me around. So I usually eat my lunch in the director's office out of consideration for them. Today I ordered lunch from a soba shop. I got an extra large serving of mori soba, that is. For whatever reason, they just call the dish an extra large. That makes ordering it complicated, since if I order an extra large and a katsu udon, they'll just deliver an extra large katsu udon instead. But is this really a large? Looks more like a regular size to me. As I recall, the owner of the restaurant has hurt her hip, so she must be having a hard time keeping things running. I was just thinking about that when Takano-san came in. she was carrying a real large-size order in her hands. Apparently, she ordered regular Morisoba and I grabbed the wrong one by mistake. Ha! What a hassle!
Idiot is fucking stupid, man.
It's easy to confuse them, isn't it? They should use some kind of mark, you know. I agree. For example, they can put a flag like the one on the kids' meal that says large size. Takano-san must have liked that idea. She laughed for a while. Would you like to join me? I invited her to sit down on the sofa. Are you sure? Thank you. But could you turn the air conditioning down just a little? Sure. Sorry about that. Here we go. Come to think of it, I haven't really talked too much with her. We were rather distant from each other, partly over the guilt of the organization becoming the EDA Institute. So, with that and our respective positions, we had a tacit agreement not to pry too deeply into each other. Since our attitudes towards our research are different, we've never mingled before. So chatting over lunch is a good way to get closer to her. Can't see shit. I wonder what she likes to talk about while eating.
There we go.
I don't want her to go off about something like tapeworms. We're having lunch after all. And while I tried to come up with a topic, she started talking instead. A flag on a kid's meal? That brings back memories. Do you think they still have those flags, though? I don't know. It's one of those things that endure. So it's possible that they keep having flags on kids' meals, even though in the far future, maybe even an in-flight kids' meal on a spaceship will have a flag on it. That sounds interesting. I wonder if kids will collect those flags even in the future. Flags? Did you collect them? Oh, didn't you do that when you were a kid? Collect the flags from the kids' meals. No way! When I was young, only rich kids could have meals like that. My family couldn't afford it. That's not true. My family was poor, but when we went to the mall, we had our lunch at a restaurant there. At the time, for me to go to the mall meant having a kids' meal. So whenever my parents went to the mall without me, I'd get very upset. Your childhood sounds very happy. But when they went to the mall without me one day, they got in an accident and died.
This is a classic Takano move.
Classic. Until I got a call about it, I was really upset with my parents for going to the mall without me, and I was sure they were having a meal there by themselves. As it happened, I only needed one more flag to make my collection complete. Collecting 20 of them was my goal. I was so upset I couldn't complete my collection. That's awful, huh? It must have been horrible to lose her parents at that age. At the age when she was still interested in collecting flags from kids' meals. It's obviously still a painful memory for her. I see. I didn't know. By the way, is that why you became a doctor? Huh? Why? Oh, well, I aim to become a doctor because of reasons involving my family, so I thought the same was true for you, too. I earned my medical license because it was necessary to draw closer to the Hinamizawa syndrome. It might be rude to put it this way, but I only obtained my license as a byproduct of pursuing my research. How interesting! Even when she was still at medical school, she already knew about the Hinamizawa syndrome. By the way, before I took this job, I didn't know anything about the syndrome. Where did you learn about it? I was told you read something about it while you were looking into the late Dr. Takano's documents. I'm impressed that you already started to research it while you were at school. Studying took up all of my time while I was a student. It's very incredible. Actually, I became familiar with the Hinamizawa syndrome long before that. What does she mean? How old was she when she first found out about the syndrome? In fact, why did she become familiar with it at all? Just like Sadako-chan and Rika-chan,
Couch?
I don't have any relatives. It's
I like imagining
crazy-ass couch.
I like imagining that Takano is actually 2 feet tall. And that this couch is normal size.
Oh my god. So I was sent to an orphanage. It was a horrible place. You remember how there was a flood of war orphans back then? I was in a truly awful orphanage built solely to gather up those children and bring in government subsidies. When I escaped from there, I was rescued by my grandfather, Dr. Takano. So, you actually lived with Dr. Takano? I see. Now I understand why you are familiar with his research documents at a young age. But why did you keep it a secret? Well, political reasons. It's one thing to request funding for research on a mysterious disease, but it's another thing to request it for a research project of my late grandfather's. I see. Finally, a question is answered. The admiration you've shown when discussing Dr. Takano was always more than just a respect for a fellow researcher. Still, since you respect him that much, he must have been a wonderful doctor with many genuine virtues. I don't know about genuine virtues. He died alone, of an illness, with nobody around to understand him. He preferred being alone, which was a bad habit of his. That's why he couldn't find anyone who would support him. Still, he had you for an extended assistant, didn't he? Speaking of which, your family name is read the same way, isn't it? Yes, it's not my real family name. I took my grandfather's out of respect. I actually wanted to write it in the same way, but I thought it could get complicated when explaining it to my client, so I ended up using a different characters. Now I could see the connection between the two last names. That also revealed the connection between the first names, Hifumi and Mio, too. She doesn't need to tell me anything more than that. She lost her parents when she was young, and Dr. Takano took her in and loved her as if she was his own child. To show her love and respect, she decided to call him her grandfather. Now I know. That's the reason why she's devoted herself to researching Hinamizawa syndrome. I now understand how she must feel, knowing her research is soon to be terminated. Rika-chan said that she was hurt. Although I didn't know anything about it, I may have said something to hurt her before. I only cared about true treatment and extermination, and didn't care about anything else until today. She must have considered that blasphemous towards her grandfather. Now I know why she became aggressive every time I expressed how I felt. After she was told that her research would be terminated, she stayed up all night and gathered up lots of documents. She went to Tokyo and requested an extension without depending on anyone else, and that request was rejected. The documents she used are now in a box in the underground storage. She must have exerted a lot of effort to put them together. Even someone without any knowledge of our research could easily understand what she was trying to say. However, it looked like some of those documents weren't even opened. And some had marks that told me they weren't treated at the way documents are supposed to be. I'm sure some pages had absorbed her tears without me ever knowing. I heard from Tokyo that Takano-san had left a terrible impression with the board of directors. It's not easy to overturn a bad impression. In other words, she can never request an extension on her research ever again. I was there when she found out about it. I was there when she found out she could no longer continue her grandfather's research, even though she must have promised him that she would complete it. Are you going to continue researching on your own after the Irie Institute shuts down? By the time the Irie Institute closes, the Hinamizawa syndrome will be eradicated, or have been eradicated. Should I preserve the pathogen in a petri dish, kidnap someone and infect them to research it? On my own, without equipment, funding, or a lab? Should I continue the research, hold up in a study filled with the smell of formalin, and never recognized or acknowledged by anyone, just like my grandfather, also someone else can ridicule it? What would you do? What would you have a loser like me, who lacks the youth and energy anymore, to do to continue it? Oh. Tomitake-san once told me that the Irie Institute was supposed to be the Takano Institute, but our clients didn't like the idea of a young woman heading the facility, and that's why I was invited. That explains why she's been so unfriendly since the day we met. It must have been blasphemy to me to see. It must have been blasphemy to her to see me go on about Hinamizawa syndrome and decide on a research plan according to my values and morals. To Takano, the syndrome is her grandfather. She must feel his presence when she's researching it. That's the reason why she often stays at the institute until late at night, though it makes the mountain dogs annoyed, as they serve as security here. Would you like to drink some of the soba broth? Ah, yes, please. Her shoulders look fragile to me for the first time. Now I'm sure of Rika-chan's story. Takano-san holds an indescribable sadness within her, and if someone approached her pretending to understand, she might just fall for it. Because of my position, anything I say to her will only hurt her more, probably. Sometimes, words can hurt people no matter how they're used. But it's the fact that I still spoke up showed how little experience I had in life. If you could at least gives the research you'd like to pursue a little more. Gives the research you'd like to pursue a little more of our future budget. We managed to gain another 3 years from them at least, so we can give those 3 years our best. It was all a slip. Even as I spoke, I started to regret trying to say anything. I appreciate the sentiment, but it's even harder to watch someone fall ill and waste away over 3 long years. If I remember right, Dr. Takano came down with acute dementia and chose to commit suicide while his mind was still functional, utter despair at his inability to continue his research further. My verbal slip had made her remember a painful memory and hurt her even more. He went into a coma, and I had to make a decision as to whether to turn off his life support or not. Hey, Director Irie, if you were the doctor in charge of that patient, who would you have pull the plug? You wouldn't pull the plug yourself, would you? Sakano-san asked me that as if it was a normal question. She only expected to hear one answer. If I was put into that position,
I wouldn't be put into that position.
then when the time came, I'd probably let his remaining family do it. That's what I thought. There's no way someone wouldn't be there for their family's final moments. So I will be here for the final moments of the Hinamizawa syndrome, no matter what. Someone knocked on the door, and I heard the voice of one of the other staff members.
Doctor, afternoon shifts are beginning. Please get ready.
Oh, okay. I'll be right there. I'll clean up. Why don't you go? Nope.
Let's talk now.
I'll clean up. Why don't you go? Lots of elderly people are waiting to chit-chat with you. Takano-san laughed, but I know that laugh was trying to conceal her anguish. I'm not close to her personally, but she was my partner here at the clinic. I've been trying to avoid getting close to her, but maybe that was a mistake. If I had listened to her more, maybe I could have eased her pain a little. But it's too late. Tomitake-san is conducting an investigation to prove her innocence. Is she guilty or not? Either way, her heartache remains. After Irie left, Takano sat down on the sofa again and stared at nothing for a while. Then she got up and picked up the phone on the desk. This is Takano. Is Okanogi there? It's me. I was going to ask you to start on the 20th, but please begin observing R today instead. Huh? What difference does it make? Or are you going to tell me Huh? What difference does it make? Or are you going to tell me it's too hot to start today? Yes, please do. We only have 5 days. You had better be careful. More than careful, okay? Alright. Yeah. All right. Are you Okinogi? I think you're Okinogi.
I am. I just always forget that he looks like this. Yeah, because Okadoki goes, Smog! Okay.
Right.
Goodbye.
Okinogi put down the phone and sighed. Although his job is to do whatever Takano wants, he couldn't help but complain about getting such an order on such an extremely hot day. Of course, if he complained, Takano would spit back twice as much reproach. Okinogi was sitting in the office of Okinogi Gardeners, a dummy company. As it happened, they regularly did gardening in Hinamizawa, if only so that nobody would get suspicious to see their uniforms and van around.
Kind of based. Me and the boys, basically a private military company just doing gardening in a village. Probably making a little bit of a profit, like. Yes. Good grief. I give up. Colin, Nightingale, and Skylark, their vacations are cancelled. The princess has given us orders to start observing R today. We'll have to move the schedule up by 3 days. The first day was Heron, right? Go with a group of 4, including 1 telephone observer, 1 telephone backup, 1 resident lookout, and 1 resident backup. Heron leader, you'll be at the command post. Also, we're stepping up our sabotage at the telephone station too. That would have been Nightingale's job, but it'll take a whole day for them to get here. So we'll use Phoenix instead. Phoenix 7, gather up construction teams and finish by tonight. Can you do it? Things are different.
Of course. My men are well trained. The Mountain Dogs are different from a regular battle unit. They're a technical squad formed from specialists in different fields of espionage. They were covert operatives for sabotaging telephone stations like Okinoki just ordered, ones for wiretapping, intelligence gathering, information manipulation, establishing networks in public institutions, and many others in various specialized fields. They belong to the Self-Defense Force, some from fire departments, some are from fire departments, some are from fire departments, some are from police headquarters, and some are civil engineers. Of course, they have some experts in combat as well. Okinogi is one of those combat experts, and he didn't expect too much from the engineers. While they all had gone through the same basic training, what they were capable was child's play compared to what an expert can do. Okinogi is the leader of a unit made up of mostly members who can't even do 100 push-ups. Really, that was the only complaint he had. He'd rather have been put in charge of the Bloodhounds. Somehow, he became the leader of this strange unit. Maybe because of his cautious yet courageous personality. Since combat was his expertise, Okinogi wished deeply for combat. During the kidnapping incident 5 years ago, the plan was for the resisting criminals to leave the hostages behind on the scene and run after the police stormed in. He recalled the extremely frustrating memory of his combat with that plainclothes police officer. That fat old man was acting so arrogantly, but he could have taken him within a matter of seconds. He could have just broken his neck. He could have turned him around and snapped. It would have been so easy for him. He remembered a young policeman too. He shot him in the shoulder, but he could have shot his ear. He was told to go easy on them, so that was the best he could do. He thought of firing a second shot, but there just wasn't time. So the last shot he fired was the reluctant one. Okinogi couldn't believe that such a pathetic battle was his last combat job. Regardless, he had continued to train so that he was ready at any time. Now that the operation had begun, he was hoping there would be a battle for him to fight. He didn't even need to fire a shot. He didn't even need to punch anyone. All Okinogi wanted was a battle that satisfied his pride, nothing more. Yes, one moment please. Commander, there's a phone call for you. I don't know if it's for the commander or the president, though. He's also the president of Okinogi Gardeners. Because of that, the members of the Mountain Dogs have to call him that.
Just a minute. I'll get my accent back. And the one. Really?
Should I just give him give him yeehaw for President Okinogi?
Sure.
How about that, huh? And who is it anyway?
It's a woman. She says her name is Nomura. She's asking for President Okinogi.
Well, then that's for the commander. I'll take it in my office. Please transfer it over.
Rattle, rattle, crash.
Thank God. I was gonna kill myself if I had to be on that phone call. Yeah, Akasaka. I heard a noise which sounded like many buckets crashing down. It's probably a noise from one of Sadako-chan's traps. According to our trap map, anyone going near the wiretapping shack will set off a trap that makes a loud noise. That must have been it just now. I scattered around the shack last night before the girls left. Fuck. I haven't done Okinogi in a while, so I always forget how to do them without, like, murdering myself. The shack is very secluded, and it's located in a blind spot where nobody is likely to go. So this noise means something important. It means they've started their observation of Rika-chan. I can't let them notice the girls aren't home. They'll definitely call and come by to confirm they're here. So I have to make sure they think the girls are sick in bed and that they don't hear the phone or the doorbell. The curtains are closed so they can't see what's inside the house. But to be certain, their beds are stuffed to make it look like they're sleeping. However, I have to be even more careful from now on. I can't let them notice I'm staying here. For that matter, I have to make sure I can act when something happens. The phone rang suddenly, just as I expected. They're calling to see if anyone's home. They're already aware that they didn't go to school, so they're probably assuming that they're home sick in bed. I'm sure they want proof of that. The phone rang for a long time, which convinced me that it was indeed a call from the Mountain Dogs. If there was no answer on the phone, then the next step would be to come by the house. They'll pretend to be a mailman or a neighbor and knock on the door. But I don't even need to answer it. If the girls are too sick to answer the phone, they won't notice a knock on the door either. The increased hassle makes a higher risk of discovery, but on the other hand, it also proves our enemy is closing in on us. It was actually better for me, since I could measure the severity of the situation. Besides, Irie is our ally. He already knows Rika-chan is somewhere else. He's supposed to tell them that he came by because he heard Rika-chan and Sadako-chan miss school, and that the two of them were in bed and should be left alone for a while. He's supposed to say that. They won't doubt Irie. They will believe him. You could call this an advanced level of mutual deceit. They believe that they're deceiving Irie, but in reality, Irie is deceiving them. However, they're professionals, and we're a bunch of amateurs. Well, not me at least. Actually, maybe I'm not an exception. I don't know what they've got until I come face to face with them. Our conditions aren't even. We're leading by a tiny bit because we made the first move. Once that's gone, we don't stand a chance. I promised Rika-chan that I trust her unconditionally, so even without proof, I'm ready to fight. But I can't beat this conspiracy by myself. And to gain help from others, Tomatake Flash has to find proof. Tomatake Flash is in charge of our first attack. That means he's in the most danger, too. It's understandable that Rika-chan kept warning him to be very careful. He should have started his investigation as early as last night, and that's the reason why they've begun observing Rika-chan. I can only pray for his safety and the success of the investigation. I heard a voice. Irie had arrived.
Satoko-chan, Rika-chan, I'm here to give you an examination.
I heard footsteps coming up the stairs and a quiet knock.
I'm alone, don't worry.
Yeah, we have to keep it down. This house is already under observation. I let Irie in and closed the door quickly.
How are you? It must be getting hot in here since you can't open the windows, huh? I brought something for you.
Dude, Irie is so based. What? What a fucking boy. He handed me a plastic bag. It contained ice cream, cans of juice, some snacks, and even beer. Well, this obviously isn't for Rika-chan. I feel he's being a little careless, but I am grateful.
So, how is everything?
I heard a noise from the wiretapping shack earlier, and the phone rang for a long time shortly afterwards. I'm sure they found out that the girls missed school today and called to check. Has anyone asked you to come check on Rika-chan?
Yes. Takano-san asked... Yeah, Takano-san told me to go check, since they missed school and haven't come by the clinic.
I knew it.
Do you think she's suspicious about their absence?
No. I think it has something to do with Tomitake Flash starting his investigation. Even if it doesn't matter, this may give him a chance to find out something.
Either way, it's already begun, hasn't it?
Yeah, more than likely. I don't know if our enemies are Takano and the Mountain Dogs, or somebody else. Either way, that somebody has started to take action.
I can't help but think of the series of mysterious deaths. The first 2 years were just coincidences, but starting with the third, I think Takano-san became intrigued and started expecting something to happen on the night of Tanagashi.
Well, Tanagashi is the day after tomorrow. It'd be the perfect opportunity for them to do something. She's aiming for Rika-chan on the 5th year running. This Takano's a frightening woman.
What Rika-chan said about Takano-san, I think it's all true. I just found out today, but she was adopted by Dr. Takano, the one who discovered Hinamizawa syndrome.
They have the same pronunciation, huh? I see.
To her, continuing the research, the syndrome was like a promise she made to her beloved grandfather. But as the project will be terminated, it's almost like they're spitting on his grave.
That's exactly what Rika-chan said, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, Takano-san said something else. She compared a dying patient in a coma to the project that was going to end in 3 years. She says that family members have the right to turn off the switch of the life support machine.
If the project is being terminated anyways, Mio Takano, who considers herself a family member of the late Dr. Takano, should be the one to terminate it.
Yeah, I think that's what she meant.
We're gathering the circumstantial evidence we need. Takano is, in fact, our enemy. Irie had been reluctant to accept it yesterday, but now he believes what Rika-chan said is true.
We need Tomitake-san to
Flash.
find some proof that shows Takano-san is planning something. Then we can call in a subjugation squad to arrest all those involved.
Takano has the Mountain Dogs working for him. The squad can come down even them. What? This squad can down. This squad can down even them.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them, but there's another unit called the Bloodhounds. They're a combat unit deployed in the case of a true emergency. The Mountain Dogs are more of an intelligence unit for covert operations, so they'll likely be far outmatched.
If the subjugation squad was organized to counter the off chance of rebellion by the Secret Research Institute, then they must be quite powerful. So you're saying our conditions for victory are summoning these bloodhounds into Hinamizawa?
That would be correct. However, my one concern is that the emergency manual contains passages authorizing the massacre of the village to preserve secrecy. I'm still worried about even if the bloodhounds are brought in, they'll destroy all evidence, including the village itself, which wouldn't be any different.
No, they wouldn't. If the enemy's intent is to trigger the execution of the emergency manual, that doesn't make sense. If the conspiracy is caused by faction infighting, then Irie Institute's clients will want to resolve the conflict quietly. They're sure to raid the enemies and settle everything while the villagers are still confused as to what's going on. I know this because I've done similar jobs myself. They'll pass through like a gale and complete their operations swiftly. And a unit capable of pulling that off against the mountain dogs must be very powerful.
We'll just have to wait until we hear from Tomotake-san.
Yeah, this will be a battle of endurance. But once it lights up, it'll become a blitzkrieg. This will be a hard battle with rapid shifts in pace. It's reassuring to us that you're in the enemy's midst, but at the same time, you're in a very vulnerable position. Please don't let your guard down. The moment we decided to be Rika-chan's allies, we became their enemies.
I understand.
The phone at this house, of course, being wiretapped, so Irie has to come over to communicate with me. But that won't work in an emergency. A telephone is still better in that case. For those instances, I put together a memo for Irie. There's a method for communicating over the phone that's been bugged. It's something I came up with out of necessity once.
What is this?
A method for calling me in case of an emergency. Please make sure the enemy doesn't get a hold of it. If you're in danger, swallow it.
The phone's being tapped, so we can make... So how can we make a call? If you pick up the phone, even if you don't say anything, they might get suspicious.
Yeah, we can communicate even without me picking up the phone. There's a little trick to it, but we can at least send across what's important. And you're the only one that can do it, since you'll be the first person who notices the enemy's movements.
Oh, alright. Then how do I do it?
It's in the memo. Let me explain briefly. We'll use the ringtone. When you make a call, normally you wouldn't let the phone ring over a minute. We'll use that to communicate. If the phone rings for a minute, that means it's dangerous. Leave. If the phone rings for a minute and a half, that means it's an emergency. Head to the Sonozaki residence. The difference is in those 30 seconds. You can look at the memo for other messages you can send, but please memorize these two at least. My life depends on it. A message that lets me know my life is in danger is the shorter call. But if it's too short, it'll get confused with a regular phone call. So that's why to signal to me, he's supposed to hang up within 3 seconds first, then place the emergency call. The reason why I use such a large difference of time is to make sure there's no misunderstanding. The tones the caller hears and the rings the receiver sends out are a little different. I don't want that little difference to change the message, which is why it has to be 30 seconds apart.
A short ring first, and 1 minute means run. A minute and a half means to head where the Rika-chan is. Okay, I got it.
It's a little troublesome, I know, but this is just for emergencies. Please remember it.
Yes, I understand. When danger strikes, I'll handle communications.
Also, one more signal I want you to remember. It's not a very good code, but please don't forget it just the same. For this one, you don't need to do one short ring. You just need to let the phone ring for over 3 minutes. It's probably best to just place the call and leave it.
What does that mean?
Contact in danger. Further contact impossible.
So that's to tell you that I'm in danger then.
Yeah. In case of an emergency, call this house, leave the phone off the hook, and hide somewhere safe. Even so, it's very hard to anticipate when you yourself will be in danger. You'll lose your chance to call while you're thinking, I'm still fine, or I'm probably fine. If you sense something odd, then that's an emergency. Knowing the seriousness of the conspiracy, they won't hesitate to kill us. Please be very careful.
I understand, but if that happens, what are you going to do?
It depends on the situation, but I'll probably leave this house. If you're in danger, then Rika-chan's in danger too. I'll head to the Sonozaki residence and join Rika-chan. But this is only in a worst-case scenario. I'm not sure it'll actually happen, so don't be nervous. Relax, okay?
But also be very careful, right?
That's right. Irie nodded deeply. It's almost time. Something is about to happen. That memo system is cool as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that's actually super fucking cool and like super creative. It's just, oh, your fucking phone's being tapped? Alright, fuck you. I'm gonna call for a minute and a half. Agasaka is unironically the fucking GOAT. Me and my homies love that guy.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. Next time.
Oh!